Hey, everybody. Welcome into the podcast. That's Keith over there. Like, God, I can never get that right, man. Where are you?
It's to your right. It's to your right. Well, yeah, technically I'm down and to your right today.
Ooh. Did you feel that? Okay. So, you are down. Actually, you're down and to my left today.
Well, it depends on which way you're looking, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. So, what's that? Tell me about the hat you have on. Let's talk about your hat real quick. I don't want to. Let's get into the hat real quick, man. What's that all about?
Well, you know me, man. I'm a automotive hat guy. I can't use the other word, but
I got
you. Two things. This is a deceptively kind of cool hat. The guys at General Tire gave it to me this summer, but it's got the American flag there.
Yeah.
Which, for a tire manufacturer, I thought was pretty cool. Ooh. The pressure washer guy.
The pressure washer guy just stopped. Folks, beforehand, we were almost ready to abort the mission here, but Keith and I stayed with it. We're steadfast in what we want to do here, and we are recording live. He is on location, so we're kind of working between pressure washers, UPS trucks, dogs barking, and those sorts of things. So
I'm in my garage. I'm in. Well, I'll give you some clues. I'm in an undisclosed location in my RV. I mean, I'm in the garage, but the Blue Angels have flown over once already today. They buzzed us twice yesterday, and I mean buzzed us, like right over the top, popping smoke, the whole thing. You just have not, like, unless you've experienced that, flying in formation.
Oh, it's very cool, to watch them do that. I know, man, as a kid. I know where you're at. And I had some
you
family.
Can figure it out if you just
some
figure
family
out where
in the area, and as a young kid watching those, it was really cool, man. So
I know your hat because I have that same hat. That is the Pennzoil, right? Shell.
I had to wear it again, man. It's I just kind of felt it was kind of more modern looking, more dark looking, like we're going into a dark time in our, like futuristic kind of a dark feel.
Oh, right. I see where you're going with this.
You know what I'm saying? I just kind of
like Blade Runner kind of stuff.
Like a Blade Runner. Yeah, I didn't have a full leather, long leather coat to wear, and I guess I should have put my sunglasses on, but for those of you listening, you couldn't see it anyway, so there you go. But we'll just give you a nice description. So, but look, today we've got an interesting topic to talk about. Keith and I are excited about it to some degree because we're just I don't know about you guys, we're scratching our heads a little bit.
I think the world is scratching with us.
Yeah, and I think you guys may kind of get the gist of it. We talk a lot about EVs on this show just because we like talking about the technology that's available out there, the artificial intelligence, and just where we're going with technology in the world today. And it's an impressive thing to both Keith and I to see that happen. And it's the electric vehicle market that tends to kind of lean more towards that higher end technology. And here we are today. We're talking about the release of the Tesla Cybertruck. Holy cow, man. I think I drew that thing back in third grade.
Yeah, so well, first of all, so he just sort of I didn't get any, so as media, I didn't get any heads up on this. Like, I
got nothing.
They did kind of a bad job of I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Of a bad job of getting the word out.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because I kind of have my ear to the ground with new vehicle releases, and especially Tesla with a lot of stuff. Yeah. I try to follow what Elon's got going on because of the continuous fight between him and Porsche, and who's got the fastest EV and that sort of stuff.
If nothing else, and he did it again, this guy loves mixing it up with all these other...
I mean, even since the release, it's just this whole thing between he and Ford. about the F-150 and you know, so we'll get right down to the nuts and bolts of it, man. Let me give you my first impression on it, okay, and then you give yours. So I saw this thing, man, and I'm like, it looks like a trapezoid, man. I mean, like with wheels and I was like, where's the bed? I mean, it's like a rolling pyramid. I mean, it's just, the immediate reaction was, here we go again with DeLorean, you know? And
yeah,
I actually thought that the doors were gonna open up, you know, and fly out like wings, like
the gull wing. He's already done the gull wing thing, though.
Right, I know it, but still, it would be the first truck. Let's face it, Elon is one to put something out that's extremely different than anything else. That's his whole goal.
So I mean, we're sort of rolling. This is huge news. We're sort of rolling today's news into today's podcast topic, which is fine because there's so many different news segments on this thing. You know, the more I'm familiarizing myself with it and learning about it, the more I'm okay with it. As a outdoor enthusiast and a truck owner, and I've probably owned more trucks than passenger cars in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy one, but I can see where. First of all, I think he had to be different to get. If you go into Ford's market share, you're gonna compete directly with Ford, and this is almost the Apple trick. Remember when Apple was like nobody, like they were tiny and they were borrowing money from Microsoft, and their whole shtick in press events was, we're not even going to compare ourselves to the PC,
right?
Like, we're a completely different animal. We don't use the same processors. We don't use the same graphics chips. We're better, but it was almost like, they focused on the creative segment, right? Like the Photoshop users and the video producers and the music producers.
Yeah.
And they let Windows let you guys have the corporate office space. And they had to do that because if they went head to head with Microsoft, they would lose, man. I mean, you're essentially a high schooler getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. I mean,
yeah, that's a good analogy.
I don't care how good of a boxer you are, you're not going to bring it.
I don't know how many years it is running, but Ford has had the best-selling pickup truck, in the market for decades. I believe now, right? I mean,
yes.
I mean, so you're absolutely right. I mean, in order for Tesla, Elon, to get in this ring, he had to be extremely different, and he certainly has achieved that. And I kind of almost feel like right now, if you think about it, Ford just releasing the Mach-E, and now you've got. I kind of feel like maybe Elon got baited into this a little bit, and. So it's kind of Ford's way of baiting him in and bringing him into the ring and saying, okay, buddy,
drag him into the deep, right? Drag him into the deep and then turn him loose and see if they can swim.
Exactly. And, just based on everything that I've read about Elon and just based on everything that I've seen production-wise of what Elon puts out there, he puts his money where his mouth is. I mean, he goes for it, man. So it's still yet to be seen. There's a lot of things in that intro, the reveal, claims being made that will probably end up being debunked. But
so we'll see. It's not going to hit the market for another year to That's a year right. and a half, and then just like Ford did with the Mach-E, there are certain versions of it that will come out later, and the first versions are going to be basically the simplest to make. So, for example, the tri-motor, so this thing will go up to 3 different motors, and that's going to be like 2 years out. Like the tri-motor is going to be the furthest out. So, so the design of this thing, right? Stainless steel. You mentioned the DeLorean,
right?
I think that actually makes sense on an off-road vehicle.
Yeah, It does, and I think through the process of people saying, man, that thing would look great in a black matte finish, now they're going to offer it in a black matte finish as well.
Which, to be fair, they started doing some of that with DeLoreans later in the production years.
And honestly, if I'm a guy buying one of those, I think I'd rather go for that. The complete blacked out look, I think would look great.
So here's the real question, and you'll know why. If you don't know this yet, then I guess welcome out from under whatever rock you've been living under. Mm-hmm. But how much of what Tesla tells you on stage can you believe? I mean, so for example, if I buy this thing based on the fact that Tesla says that the stainless steel body can withstand a 9mm firearm round.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
If I buy it based on that and then that turns out to not be true, what recourse do I have? When the Model X came out, they had the it's not zombie attack mode, but they had the chemical weapons mode or the bioweapon mode or whatever for the air filtration.
Right.
But, is it really? I mean, what happens if it's not?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, to me, that puts somewhat of a liability on Tesla for sure, because let's face it, we do live in a world of people who like to challenge things, and who's to say that somebody doesn't have some sort of stunt going on out there just for the heck of it, and they start shooting this thing while people are in it, and
he said the windows were bulletproof, right, and then they basically throw stuff at him and break it, and then he doubles down and tells this guy, well, try the back window too, and it breaks also. So either they didn't have, it's prototype and they didn't have the glass that they're going, to date I have not seen an explanation on that.
It could be that the first thing that crossed my mind is that somebody didn't tell Elon that this is just a prop.
Right.
I
mean, the guy looking at him, you can see in the release, he's like, are you sure?
Are you
and
sure?
He's like, yeah, do it. And the guy's basically trying to tell him, like, I know you're the boss, but I don't know, Chief. This is probably not a good idea.
Exactly. But now the test that they did beforehand, where they dropped the ball onto a piece of the glass that was not installed in the vehicle, it survived. So,
and they took a sledgehammer to the body and it did not dent. So that's all great.
Yeah, so there's some things that you can take from that I do believe that they have a certain set of goals that they'll probably end up achieving. Now, the price point, will it change to try to get there? We don't know yet. And let's talk about the price point.
And so it's aggressive. Well, okay. So on the can I call it an entry model?
Yeah.
The lower end one.
The lower end one, yeah.
That's what they've revealed.
Yes.
So, the single motor, I think.
Yes.
And they're going to be real competitive. And of course, my electric vehicle research guy goes, and that's the first thing he does after I told him that this was a thing. Mm-hmm. And he goes and looks up the prices, and so we're in the high 30s for the entry model.
39,000 for the entry model. Let's tell everybody what the deposit was, because I don't have that in front of me. You told me what the deposit was.
I think it was
$500. So $500, right? So which is pretty competitive in comparison to what?
Oh no, $100. $100.
Was it $100? Was it $100? Well, no wonder there's. Okay, it wasn't high. It wasn't something that the average person couldn't afford to put money down on.
And they're saying that in a period of so this happened sort of right coming up to a weekend in terms of their press release.
Right.
By Monday, they had claimed that they had over 100, close to 150,000 reservations on it.
Right.
Now, look, I also saw where they said that deposit's fully refundable. Mm-hmm. And if you're only asking for like 100 or less than 500 or less, of course people are going to go and then they're going to change their mind, and so I don't know. That's not a solid commitment. Right.
It's really not. So that it remains to be seen. And the one company that has really kind of weaseled its way into this whole conversation is Rivian. Think about that. We talked about Rivian way back when. So what I did is I kind of, just to kind of get a sense of what's going on in the EV market right now, and I wanted to have a little bit of a, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I really don't think that, and I may be wrong, folks, I've been wrong before, but I really don't think that this is going to drive the Ford F-150 out of the marketplace at all. I don't want to touch it. So.
Now you know that Ford. Let's just for the people that don't know, let's go ahead and clarify that Ford has invested heavily in Rivian, the truck company.
They have, and you've got two. And think about this, and we talked this maybe the podcast before last, where we talked about what GM did. That was part of the UAW strike. We were talking about where GM was investing money into the Lordstown plant because they're going to be building an all-electric truck, and I think and Ford is doing the same thing. They're promising an all-electric F-150, but we believe they're going to piggyback off of the Rivian. But let me bring up.
So here, and I was going to get into this in a minute, and I still want to, but so we started this podcast talking about Elon kind of mixing it up.
Yeah.
With this time around, it's with Ford. Kind of bring it on. And they had a video where they show this Cybertruck, is what Tesla's calling their truck.
Right.
Yanking an F-150 up. Basically, they're having a towing tug of war. Okay. Right. Now look. Okay. Have you seen this video, Jay?
I have.
Okay. So first of all, it's a two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive Ford truck.
Right.
Pickup trucks are notoriously light in the rear end without anything in them.
Right.
The low distribution on the Cybertruck with the batteries and all that in it, it's probably a heavier vehicle. Now you could take the argument where you could say, well, yeah, but that's Ford's fault for designing it the way they did. Okay, fair enough.
Right.
But I can almost guarantee you that he's putting his Cybertruck is an all-wheel drive version.
Oh, certainly it is.
That two-wheel drive. So you're stacking the deck. Go put a four-wheel drive Ford pickup truck up there, and then you're not going to yank it like you yanked it on that video.
There are actually several videos out there explaining why the Tesla won that battle in the video. It's completely debunked. And
if you give me both of those vehicles, I will promise you a fair fight, and I can show you how it's not going to. Yeah,
right. It's and that's a great point. I don't think that Elon can win that battle. I don't think that that's a talking point for him. I think that he needs to focus on.
So here is Ford's F-150. I'm going to call it concept vehicle.
Yeah,
I don't know that I would call it a prototype with the Rivian tech, and that is pulling a million pound train.
Right. Yep.
So, and I'm not like I like Tesla.
Yeah.
But you're not being honest.
Right.
Okay. This is look. They can do it too.
Yep.
They've shown people they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that. What would happen if we put the Rivian Ford truck up against this? That's a much more fair comparison.
I think so as well, and that's why I wanted to bring Rivian into this conversation, because they're silently sitting back, and they are already in the overland market, showing that they can diversify their product to make it appealing to that market. And it's funny the angles that these guys are taking to sell these all-electric vehicles. It really is, because
it's
now
all marketing, man.
Yeah, you've got Elon over here with this futuristic, like, you can't, put a bullet through me, and then you've got Rivian over here going, oh, it's efficient, it's all-wheel drive, it can go anywhere, it has great clearance, it has great entry angles and all these things. Now granted, the Tesla does as well. It's got a clearance that's extremely high. The entry angle it's really desirable. I get it.
Big tires.
The whole nine
built
yards.
Built for off-road. Now, did you notice that they're going to offer on the Tesla Cybertruck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when we talked about the Mach-E, which was last week. Now, if folks, if you have not seen, we've got a video on YouTube where we've got the Mach-E reveal. Just search for it on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is the Parts Counter Gurus. And there's some footage in there you're probably not going to see in anybody else's videos. It's coming straight from Ford. Some of it's concept art. Some of it's actual driving footage of the Mach-E. But one of the things that I kept saying during our Mach-E Quickie was, look at how much of Tesla they have emulated. Like, for example, the big display screen in the center, and they're basically showing you things that Tesla pioneered. Okay, so if you look at the Cybertruck, there's 3 or 4 things that they have emulated from Rivian.
Yes.
Did you see that they offered an induction cooktop?
Yep.
In the Cybertruck? Where did we see that first?
Right.
The slide-out concept in the Overland show from Rivian, right?
That is what makes Rivian stand out to me, is that center piece, that hollow part of the body that they have made very good use of.
Behind the back seats, it slides out sideways.
That's right. So yeah, it's so interesting to me that, again, we this is a battle of EV trucks, man. Did you think that in 2019, early 2020, that we'd be having this conversation about the battle of electric vehicle trucks?
No, but
EV trucks, man.
Here's something that I would buy from Tesla, and that is, did you see that they're going to offer an accessory for this truck? It's a quad. It's a four-wheeler.
Yeah, they drove it up into the back of the. Yeah.
That's an electric quad.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
You know how much torque you can get out of those? Dude, I am in.
So you're all over that, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect for,
again, this is Elon going one step further over the competition and trying to draw you into that fight. We're building our loyal team here. And so there you go. They got you, right? So
I'll bet you they don't. They're not. Well, now here's the interesting thing. Do you think they're the ones making that?
Oh, heck no, man.
They're Tesla. They can make electric vehicles, right? But there's already electric motorcycle manufacturers out there doing it.
Why would you? Remember what I said, man, way back about, you're going to buy an electric vehicle and a phone's going to come with it? Because of all the, So look at this. Buy an electric truck and you get an electric ATV. Hey, man, how about that? Right. So Elon, way to go, step it up. He was hearing us, but there's one part of this whole equation for the electric truck market that I'm having a hard time understanding, to most loyal truck owners, why this would even be an issue, unless you're just not using, or not an issue, but a talking point, unless you're just not even using the vehicle for that. But can I ask you a question? Why would you want to have a pickup truck? I mean, is it the best of both worlds, where you can go 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds in a pickup truck? I mean, is it really necessary? I mean, really, most people that buy a pickup truck are not going for the top end speed or how quick it can go from 0 to 60.
But then you got the Raptor crowd,
right? But again, that's a performance truck. I mean, there are so many mods on that truck. You got to look at the That's what I'm saying. Is that
so personally, I don't care, because I'm a guy that buys trucks for the utilitarian aspect. Like, I want it to be able to tow.
Exactly.
So understand that when truck manufacturers show you horsepower, there's a lot of torque in that horsepower. That's not Mustang horsepower or Corvette horsepower, where it's 0 to 60 time. That's torquey horsepower. That's low gears, towing horsepower.
It's geared to tow and pull, and that's where that comes in. That's what
I care about. Can I pull a fifth wheel down the highway at easy enough? But I'm realizing that I think I'm kind of going in the minority in that. But I don't know. Then truck sales are so great lately, and everybody's going to. I would not buy a truck for race car performance.
Exactly.
I would go buy a race car for that. Now,
I would go buy a Mach-E for that.
You could make the argument that, what if you don't have the money for a second vehicle and you're trying to get the best of both worlds? Then I guess I can see where this would be your thing.
Well, for me, a vehicle that's that fast, you would have to assure me that the handling aspect of that vehicle can handle the cornering and
Well, and now, see, you start putting higher clearance on it and bigger tires, and you're playing around. So you're improving the off-road capabilities, but you're
right
diminishing the street handling capability. Now,
this is why I'm bringing this into this picture, okay? Because
it's got a yoke.
Yes,
it's got a fighter jet yoke instead of a full steering wheel.
Right. So you look at the Baja built Raptors and Rangers and those trucks out there. They look nothing like the factory stock. We talked about that. It's just like in racing, period. The stance of this vehicle, the body width and the wheelbase, how wide it is very important. So some of the specifications I haven't seen to see how it can kind of compete with that type of off-roading environment. So that again, that's where the performance aspect of it would come in to me. So again, it's where are you bringing this in? So Ford Bronco has got to really do something here.
How much you want to bet they're going to come out with an electric version of that? And that's the delay.
They would be crazy not to
seal the deal. So
absolutely would.
Did you notice? Have you seen the pictures of this Cybertruck with the? It's not really a rooftop camper tent. It's designed to go over the truck bed. Have you seen that? Okay.
It's kind of Aztec-y. Remember the Pontiac Aztec?
Yes. One of the crappiest cars ever made. So on the back there where the tailgate would normally be, he's got the slide-out cook stove.
That's right.
And then they've got another, like they've got a food prep kind of thing. So here, Jay, this reminded me of our friends at Decked. Because you're giving up truck bed space in the lower part of the bed.
That's right.
To slide these accessories back into the bed and under a platform. That's exactly what Deck's doing. It looks like they've kind of borrowed from Deck. Sorry.
Yeah, Decked. Yeah, I'm sure they have. And if you're going to compete again, like I said with Rivian earlier, they are appealing to the overland crowd because for a number of reasons. They have built-in accessories and again in the body where the cook, and now these guys are doing as well.
Now
go ahead.
If you're going to go after the overland crowd, though, and this is where what Tesla, you guys should have come to us for this because this is a rookie move on your part. So you're taking an overland vehicle that you're trying to advertise as an overland vehicle that looks like you drove out somewhere in the middle of the Redwood Forest in California, maybe the Muir Woods or something.
Right.
And you took pictures of it. That's overland. Oh, the overland fanboys are going to call you out on that every time.
Yeah.
You put it on a flat surface, take it out in Utah, in like Moab, and put it on some rocks and take some pictures of it off camber.
Right.
If every Toyota overland vehicle, that's what they're showing you. Right. This right here. This looks to me like you're not sure if it can do it, and so you just wanted to drive it outdoors and make it look overlandy.
Again,
if you would have hired us to do this, we'd have
pointed those things out. Yeah, if you're going to appeal to a certain crowd, you've got to prove that point.
You got to show them.
Yeah, marketing at this point is a little less desirable than what we think that they should have been if they're going to
dude, come on, he smashed the windows and it's the most botched reveal
absolutely so
of the year.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and here's the other thing, man. A little study shows that most of the large pickup trucks sold in the United States are sold in the Midwest. Do you really see
might I posit, well, duh.
Right. Exactly. So I can't see Tesla reaching that market, in my opinion.
No, but look, if you got the sort of, there's a lot of great national parks in California. There's all up by you, the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I can see that crowd going after this, and there's some great places to take them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that you will have a specific, it's more of a niche market, I think it's going to be in the beginning, and they may refine this thing. And now again, everybody, what we saw on stage was I think it's not the finished product. I really don't think it's the finished product. I think we are a long way away from that. I think that you're going to start to see a little bit more smoother lines and not have this sharp trapezoidal look. I think it's going to be a little bit more refined than what it is right now.
Now, some of this, and this is what I tell my son all the time. Now, here, I'm gonna let me put you on the spot here, and this is Parts Counter Guru's decision making time. Okay. So something that I tell my boy repeatedly, because he is all over these concept videos, and I tell him, look, what you see in these videos is not necessarily guaranteed to come into production.
That's
and
right.
even the Corvette, like I went and looked and sat and touched a Corvette C8 a couple months ago,
right?
That was already made,
right?
But that's not guaranteed to be the one that rolls off the production line that's mass produced.
That's right. It's not the production vehicle, and we said that in that podcast. Don't be surprised that if some of these, like the fascias, the roof line, the tail light, the wings on the
windows,
yeah, for sure, those things will change.
I said to my son, I said, look, I cannot, how many times have I told you, this is not, all they're doing is guessing, okay? So, okay, so he had not seen this reveal, and I recorded it. I put a camera in front of him, and I put it on screen. Do we want to put that in this podcast episode, or do we want to make that a separate little quickie on our website where we get his... And here's why I decided to film it, because it's like Tesla fan, the world's greatest Tesla fan. Like, that's probably going to be the car he tries to buy as his first vehicle, right? Is some sort of Tesla. And I put this thing in front of him, and I just wanted to see the reaction, because it looks nothing like the concept stuff that he's been seeing. And I'm not going to tell you what he thought. I'm not going to go into that. But do we want to? I'm going to put you on the spot again. Do we want to? I can tag that into this video, or we can throw it out there later. What do you think?
You've already brought me into this. I've got to know what the reaction is. So I think, in all fairness to our audience, we need to feed it into this. And let's see what the reaction is, because it'll be very interesting discussion. So.
All right, I'll tell you what. I think maybe just so it's you know what? Here, I'm gonna splice it in right here. Okay, so you're a pretty big Tesla fan, right?
Yes.
Like you told me yesterday. It's in your list of like top 2 or 3 favorite cars. Okay. And you've been showing me videos of the upcoming truck for at least a year now, right? Okay. So a couple days ago, Tesla released their truck. Elon Musk came out and gave a presentation, and they did an unveiling. And it's called the Cybertruck. Okay.
The Cybertruck?
And I'm going to put it on screen for you. And I want you to watch the screen up there. And I want you to just tell me what you think. All right, you ready? Here it comes. There it is.
Whoa.
So.
Almost doesn't look real. And I don't know. Do you know why it doesn't have a bed? Or can I just not see that?
But yeah, so here are some other videos and pictures, and that is, let's see if we can get this video to play.
Welcome. And we have a few passengers in the back as well.
So is that going to be the real steering wheel?
Yeah, that's it. That's when he gave the release. That's it.
So when are they going to start making these?
I don't know that yet, but it's very minimalist. It's supposed to be bulletproof, but you remember I was telling you that he started beating on the glass and it broke?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. The animation here in front of us on the big 17-inch.
So of course it's a Tesla, so it's got that big screen inside.
Whoa, well that part's actually pretty cool.
Oh, they're driving it.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I mean,
I think it's pretty cool, but it wasn't really what I was expecting.
Okay.
I was actually expecting more of a truck.
Right. And all the videos that you watched, did it look like this?
No.
Okay.
One of them looked kind of like this.
Right.
But not really.
And remember what I kept telling you, those were all guesses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it looks like everybody guessed wrong. So, do you think this is something... Look, there is the picture with the holes that he put in the glass. See that? When he was beating on it?
Do you think you can get a video of that?
Yeah, we can try to find it. But do you think this is something that people will buy?
I don't really know.
All right,
it looks kind of funny.
1 to 10 scale. 10 being the best, everything you hoped for. 1 being, oh my God, they just totally blew it. Where, just in your first 5 minutes of seeing this truck, where would you rate this?
7.5.
7.5. You're being pretty Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Awesome. Okay,
so there you go. So obviously, not everybody. I mean, it's a shock to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I sort of put you were going down another path with this thing, and I kind of we got into the whole design and surprise of it and all that.
Yeah.
What else, Jay, on the actual engineering side did you want to kind of point to on this vehicle?
Well, I think that there was a lot of neat things that was put into this, but first and foremost, man, again, let's talk about the 3 dogs in this race. Right now, okay?
Okay, that would be Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, and... Oh, no, wait. No,
right.
Sorry.
So you've got... And the only reason I'm bringing Ford into it is because that's who everybody wants to beat. Again, that's why I said in the beginning...
when you're on top, right, you're the one to beat. There's a big target on your back.
That's exactly right. So I'm bringing Tesla and Rivian into this fight. And
now, are we going to consider Rivian and Ford separate entities, or is that Ford and Rivian one and the same?
They're separate entities because when that whole relationship began, my opinion on that was, and I read a lot about this, is that Ford entered that relationship with the sole intent of growing their electric vehicle market, okay? So they had to, and they needed to do it quickly because they looked around them going, everybody else is doing this, so we need some technology. And so that relationship allows Rivian to come to the market. So you have to kind of keep them separate because there may be some proprietary things that Rivian themselves are doing that Ford is not. We don't know. We don't know what those contractual agreements are. We don't know what that relationship is really completely about, but we do know that the whole idea was for Ford to jump on with them to help expand their technology. So, to that point, a couple of things as a pickup truck owner, you want to know what the towing capacity is, right? I mean, that's what you do with a truck. So, you look at what the Ford F-Series truck towing capacity range is anywhere between 500 and 13,200 pounds. Okay, that's their range, and you stepping up further and further and further. They
every year they seem to add a little bit more to the stronger frame and all that.
Right.
Yep.
So then you look at the Rivian, who says that they're all electric truck. They're RT1 or R1T, I believe it is. Maybe it's RT1, one or the other.
I think it's R1T.
Is it what it is? So
I think
they're claiming 11,000 pounds.
Okay,
that's what they're claiming.
Sort of right in the middle of a half ton.
Correct. However, Tesla's going to stick their chest out and go 14,000. Again, this is important. If they can reach that, that's a big deal. Okay?
So a couple things that I've noticed, because that is something, again, as a guy who pays attention to that stuff, that's what I look for in a truck. That's right where I went. Right. So if you look at the tug-of-war picture that Tesla posted on Twitter between the Cybertruck and the F-Series, the Ford F-150, it looks like the Cybertruck has a little bit longer wheelbase. So if you've got a longer wheelbase, that's going to assist you in heavier towing capacities.
Right.
It looks like it's a bigger vehicle. It looks like it's a longer vehicle.
It does. And again, there's a stance that this vehicle has, which, we talked about the Baja style. It's performance. Why is that important? Go 0 to 60. What is Elon thinking here? What is Elon thinking here? Right. So that's.
I personally think that. And now you remember the Nissan Titan XD that we saw that one of the first questions I went after those guys that at Z1 Motorsports and we asked the Nissan product specialist ladies that worked for Nissan, what class is this? And they said, well, it's in between.
Right.
And then Chris, one of the Z1 Motorsports guys, came out and said, well, I can tell you about it. Here's what do you want to know? And they were trying to put it in between a half-ton and a three-quarter ton, but everybody's trying to play this game of our half-ton's a little better than your half-ton.
Right.
Well,
and this to my point, I want you to notice one pattern here, okay? And let's continue to go down these specifications, because Elon, being Elon, is always, well, mine's better than yours, mine's faster than yours, mine's bigger than yours. So I went down the comparison list, and it's just that he's just a skosh better than everybody else in this initial reveal.
At
so we'll
what
see.
cost?
Right.
At what?
Right.
This is, and I'm just going to give you an opinion here, and I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but I really feel like you have picked a fight, Tesla.
Yes,
with the wrong. These guys at Ford are ready for you, and they are going to eat your lunch. And I'm a Tesla. I hope you are wildly successful. Okay, but these guys at Ford know how to make trucks. They've been making trucks for a long time. When you came out with your first electric vehicle, there wasn't anybody that really knew how to make an electric vehicle. So you learned and you were on the cutting edge.
Right.
You're going after something where these guys know what works, and here's the important part, they know what doesn't work.
Right.
And that's where you're going to end up in trouble.
You want to hear a bold statement from me?
Okay.
And this is me. This is Jay saying this, guy. You heard it first right here on PartsCounterGurus.com. Tesla will never win the battle with Ford.
Oh,
it will never happen.
It's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be fun to watch. Now, you will probably have a little sector of the market. Again, it'll be a niche market, just like Rivian.
There'll be something. It'll be it has better the all-wheel drive capabilities for like if I just buy the base model Cybertruck versus the base model F150, I'm going to get or whatever. But apples to apples, I'm with
you're
you,
just not going to win it. Well, the reason why that is because Ford markets to the working community. Okay? Ford markets to the working community. They have so many variations of their pickup trucks that have like built-in tool accessory cases, and then you've got companies like Decked that are coming out there with all of these modular systems that you can put in. They're built towards that pickup truck bed style to make it, and they, who knows, did they partner with Ford to build some of these? And see, Ram has done the same thing. There's all of these onboard little snippets of technology that Ford has gradually worked in, Ram has gradually worked in. Like, for example, for the working community, if you are in a construction on a construction team, you're in a construction company, and they have the technology to inventory their tools by means of a barcode, and if you leave the tool on site and you drive away, it gives you an alert. You left your tool on site.
I've seen that. They started putting RFID tags in them.
Exactly.
And the console, I saw it in an F-150 where, like, as you're driving off, the infotainment console would, like, warn you, hey, man, you left some tools behind.
Exactly. So, I see a Family Guy sort of opportunity for that. Like, I can hear Seth... what's his name? Hey, buddy, you left some tools back there, buddy. Right.
Hey, turn around right now. You forgot your tools, man. Oh, look, that guy's running away with your tools. What? Pursuit mode.
Right, man. I can see it as well, man. It's funny, but this is the kind of conversation that Elon has to get into, and he can't get in there yet. Now, he's not going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. I don't know where he's going with this thing. I wish them luck with what they're trying to do.
The red meat of attracting attention on on social media. But look, I mean, in high school, like, everybody loves a fight. Like, if there was a fight in the hallway, everybody would run out and watch, right?
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna when it comes time to put your chips in the ring. I doesn't mean I'm gonna be all in. I'll sure, if you want to get scrappy, I'm gonna watch for the entertainment. But how much of that is gonna convert or translate to actual purchases and sales revenue?
Exactly, and again, I think that Elon may be humbled with this attempt. I really do, because Ford, like I said, has partnered up with Rivian.
Yeah.
And I think that they have set Rivian up for success in that market as an electric truck. They've already proven some of the technology that's going into that pickup truck. Granted, its payload, for example. Again, this is a true Ford. The F-Series, I think 3,270 pounds. And then you've got Rivian is, and again, you've got to look, it's an electric pickup truck.
Bed capacity, or
Yes.
hauling capacity.
Hauling
in the bed.
capacity.
Yeah, got it.
Right. 1,700 to 1,800 pounds in the Rivian versus the Ford F-Series 3,270.
Well, and a lot of that, I'm sure, is because the weight of the battery packs take up a considerable amount of that capacity. You've got to, you're hauling. You're still hauling weight. It's just the battery packs built in.
Now, Elon says 3,500 pounds. He's like, again, let's take a look at the list. He's just a skosh above everybody else. Okay, let's talk about storage. I think Ford says that inside 77.4 cubic feet.
Yeah.
Elon says 100.
Well, he's going to count that front area where the traditional truck would have an engine, and he's got a front. Yeah. And they got the little butterfly doors that he put in.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Clearances, okay? So 9.4 clearance inches versus 16. This is what Elon's saying, 16. And it's, I get it. He's going after the things that do mean something to a truck owner.
Now, you can get into those same clearances, just not in a base model F-150.
Modifications. It takes modifications to get there.
Or you go buy the Raptor, or you go buy what's the General Motors Trail Boss or something like that, and you get into those areas, right?
And here's one of the things that crossed my mind. And listen to me, Elon. I'm telling you right now, man. And you can come on our show. We'd be glad to have you on our show here at the Parts Counter Gurus and talk to you about this and tell you what you need to do. You see, because truck owners, they really like to personalize their vehicle. And I don't see you coming out with a large amount of accessories for your truck, my friend. I don't see it happening. So,
I would just like to point out our track record on predictions and corporate advice is 100%. Like every single time we have said you need to do it this way, we've been right.
Now, we have been. I like that. I like that. So now, look, here's some of the finer points of this vehicle that I actually do love. Okay, first and foremost, Tesla's known for autonomous software for their vehicles, and for an additional $7,000. He's going to push the software to these trucks for self-driving.
My guy pointed out that is more expensive than Tesla's other automobiles that offer that same they call it autopilot, I think. Yeah. He pointed out that you could get that for less money on, like, I think he said, like, the Model X and the Model 3. So for whatever reason, that price is going up on this vehicle.
Yeah. It's I don't know why, or maybe it's just he hasn't really thought it out yet. He's padding it a little bit just to for the sake of incurring additional cost to get it done. That happens, and so it may go down in price. We don't know yet.
Maybe they've improved on it, and the newer tech is in this truck.
Yeah. So a couple of the cutting edge pieces of technology that he has, like the sliding, because I was asking where the heck is the bed on this thing? Whoa! And then it revealed has this sliding lid that goes inside the body of the vehicle, which is pretty cool. So you kind of
get your camper shell, and you kind of don't. It's just that you can't really you can't really put a sofa in the back of this thing in the rain because you
No.
got to open up that slide.
That's
for
right.
anything. I mean, even the quad that they're showing you
Mhm.
that they put in the back, they had
Right.
to leave that open. Whereas on my pickup truck that has a traditional camper shell, I can pull a full size quad four wheeler in the back
Sure.
and leave the
yeah.
shell on, and it's covered.
And
right?
it's covered, yeah.
Or a sofa, right? Like
Right.
that's the more practical option. Is stuff in there that you need to keep out of the elements.
Yeah, and
when you're transporting.
I kind of, and we'll see in months to come, or when this thing actually comes out in production, as to how they will address that, because I think that's going to be that'll be a sticking point with a lot of people, because a truck has to be versatile in that manner. Why else would you buy it? I mean,
Right.
honestly, if I'm buying this for the performance aspect of it and it looks cool and stuff, I'll just go buy the Tesla, Model S or 3
there's some people
or
that
whatever.
will,
Yeah.
and they're probably the same crowd that we saw at SEMA that sort of are in the how big of a lift kit can I put,
Yeah.
and all the light mods on the bottom and all that. Yeah, but
You
that's
think
not
maybe-
going to translate to large numbers.
No, it's not. So that's again that's something that they'll need to refine, I'm certain. But the cool thing about that was the fact that cover, they're saying that can become solar panels, and that's attractive to.
Oh, yeah, especially for you. I've said before, for a camping crowd to
Yeah.
be able to recharge. And look, you and I put solar panels on the roof of my RV, and it was an
Well-
expensive investment, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's worth every penny. For a real outdoorsman that loves sort of going off grid, it is worth it.
Well, and let's say this, not necessarily like recharging the batteries, on the vehicle in a quick manner, but maybe it's auxiliary power for all of your accessories that you're running.
Sure.
That sort of stuff, keeping your phones powered up, keeping whatever powered up, or running the stove, those sorts of things. And maybe that's what that will be more for, because I don't know if a solar panel is really going to charge those types of batteries up very quickly.
Right.
Anyway, again, that remains to be seen. So there's that, which I thought was cool. And being Elon, he's got to be unique in just about every way he can possibly be. I love the headlight. I love the mono
All the way
headlight
across,
all the way
yep.
across.
That's
It's
something straight out of like a sci-fi movie, right?
It really is. And, the test on it revealed that the distance of illumination and how clear it was. And, of course, that's a testament to the lighting market out there now, the technology that's available to us that allowed Elon to come up with that type of design. So it's not like that type of lighting is not available on every other vehicle. It's how he is utilizing that technology to light up the highway on the front end of that vehicle and to work it into the design in a manner that not only speaks futuristic, but it's effective as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was very well thought out. I don't know what are your thoughts on that light, man?
Yeah, that's one of those things that I can see, being innovative for a purpose, and it's different than anybody else, but it's not necessarily just for the sake of being different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about that off-road crowd, what are they all doing right now? They're all putting LED light
Right.
bars on the cab.
Right.
And he's got a light strip that goes at the very peak, if you want to call it that, of the front of the cab on his. It doesn't really have a roof,
Right.
but it's where it comes to a point, as well as the lower one that you're talking about. Well, those are things that are in demand from the off-roading crowd. I mean,
Sure
we
it
want
is.
big light bars to be able to see, because there's not street lights in a lot of these places. We're getting there after dark and
Yeah.
setting up tents or whatever. So yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. Like, by all means, push the envelope there.
Yeah.
It needs to be done.
Yeah, lighting is a big deal to the off-roading crowd, the overland crowd. I mean, it really is a big deal. So I think that was very well played on his behalf, his engineers, to put that in there. I think that's a really good selling point. The steering wheel, though, man, I mean,
The yoke.
yeah, I'm not okay with that on a pickup truck, because I think that can get away from your hands. I just feel like a pickup truck, man, you need a lot to grab, especially if you're off-roading. That thing
Yeah,
can
but
get
it's
away
a
from
Tesla, man. It'll keep the lane for you.
Yeah, yeah. Now that would be a feat to if it's autonomous, self-driving, off-roading. How is that would be an interesting feat.
Oh yeah, well I don't see how they're that's
so. Anyway,
so let's keep an eye on this. So I didn't mention his name, but I think it's Sonny Mandra, who's one of the Ford vice presidents, who jumped all over Elon Musk's tweets.
I saw that,
and said, "Game on, buddy."
Yeah, it's happening.
Let's keep an eye. Maybe we post some of that on our Facebook feed or whatever from them. That's a pretty funny exchange. Like everybody likes a little public public scrap, right? Like Ford has responded to Tesla and said, okay, we'll go.
Right. Yeah. I saw that this morning. I saw some tweets out there. I think it's interesting. He's, Elon's picking his fights, and rightfully so. He's challenging the market, and good for him. I wish him luck. He was very successful with the cars.
Right.
He's been very successful with SpaceX. So don't underestimate the guy. Okay, so he likes a good challenge. He's not afraid of failure. That's kind of what I like about the guy. It reminds me a lot of a few others out there.
Right.
But it remains to be seen. So, having said all that, I want to take a minute to remind everybody where you can find us real quick. Don't forget to head over to our website, which is partscounterguru.com. On that website, you can navigate to all of our podcast platforms, and it is a link up there in the left-hand menu, drop-down menu, podcast links. You can also reach even further down. We, from time to time, will mention specific items that you can purchase on that we've mentioned on the podcast that you can purchase through Amazon, and we will give you those links on our Mention on the Podcast tab. You can also shop Amazon through our site just by simply clicking the icon in the upper right-hand corner. And
hey, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing all kinds of shopping on Amazon. If you are watching this or listening to this, please, it costs you nothing. Go to our website, like Jay said, partscounterguru.com. In the top right corner, click the Amazon thingy, the banner, also known as a thingy, and we get a little love from Amazon. Does not cost you any more. It's anonymous. I don't know who bought that weird, obnoxious, like the truck testicles or whatever, right? So
right. We have no idea. Yeah.
By the way, if you want to get those, and for someone that has ordered a Cybertruck that is pre-ordered, that might be kind of a funny holiday gift.
It actually would. Would they be steel?
Well, you'd have to try to get them in some sort of matching
steel
metallic. Yeah,
steel testicles, man. Yeah.
So
I've known a few men.
If you're going to do your holiday shopping, click through our website. Go to Amazon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, let's talk about our social media platforms.
Okay.
All right.
I'll listen. How about that? You
okay,
talk.
Sure. So, look, guys, you can follow us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/partscountergurus. You can also follow us over on Instagram. That's instagram.com/the-partscountergurus. And we will put out there, some fun pictures and links and stuff to these podcasts, these videos that we have out. Keep your eye out on more camping stuff coming down the pike. And then also, one of the most important things you can do for us is head on over to our YouTube channel. And
wait, I'm going to give you you remember Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. Let's have it. Yeah.
Okay, here it is, right?
I'm excited, man. Yeah, let's hear it.
Remember how he would do that? If you're not watching,
you didn't get that.
He would do the thing to his ear where he would walk out in the ring and hold his hand up to his ear. Because I know what's coming, Jay. I know what's coming.
Yeah. So, look, go to YouTube and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And just understand that those subscriptions are free to you, but they're priceless to us. And while you're there, please hit the like, Give us
I'm
a
gonna
thumbs
rip my
up.
shirt off now.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. There you go, man. hit the like buttons there for us. That helps us, as well as ringing that bell so that you can be notified every time something new comes out. That also helps us. And you're going to miss the action if you don't ring that bell, unless you just decide you want to search on us every day. You can do that as well. Go view all the little videos over and over again. That would be great. So we would appreciate the subscriptions, most importantly, and we want you to keep coming back. So, and all that, the reason why is because we can't do this without you, man. So help us out. We appreciate it. So with that said, Keith, give us some closing thoughts on this thing, man.
All right. Well, I felt like this might have been appropriate. We got a little bit into camping on this, a little off-roading. So yeah. I've got a Jeff Foxworthy quote to leave you with here, okay?
Oh, I can't wait, man.
If you own a home with wheels on it and several cars without, you just might be a redneck.
Oh, there you go, pal. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next time, that is Jay over there.
Moi.
I'm Keith. And we'll talk to you soon.
Doing a freaking podcast. I only have so many hands. Calm down, people.